Going live. Are we
What
live?
up,
We are
ladies and
live!
gents?
There it is.
We got one simple question for you today. What is your new normal?
Shut up and sit down.
Business Bros is your show, where small business professionals just like you come to tell their stories. This podcast is for those who understand the number one rule in business, which is to be of service to others. Learn how today's professionals generate leads, what's working on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of those who are out there doing the real work. And now let's welcome your hosts, Hernan Cias, the real estate bro with eXp Realty, the cloud-based brokerage where top producers reign, and James Cias, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, making sure you are covered because there's a lot riding out there. And now here are the business bros.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? We are ready to rock and roll. What is your new normal, ladies and gents? What is your new normal? That is the question for today. By the way, we had some scheduling issues, so it's just James and I today. So we always like to open up the show to a Q&A, and or if you are willing, hop on the show with us and join in on the conversation. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So there is a link in the comment section. In the comment section, it says join the show. You go ahead and click on the link. You'll show up in my waiting room, and then we'll bring you on, and you can go ahead and ask your questions. Say hi. Does it have to be about the new normal? It doesn't, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. So feel free to jump on in. All right. And
hey, before we jump into the whole entire topic though, so I went to I broke the law. I broke the COVID law this weekend, and I went to visit mom.
I know, I saw. You made me look like a bad son. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Jeff.
You made me look like a bad son. Dude, you drove up and gave mom hugs. I was like, oh, look at this guy. Now I look like a total a-hole, dude. I haven't seen mom in like 7. No, that's not true.
Dude,
I saw mom the first like week or so.
I haven't seen mom in at least 6 or 7 weeks. So, I've been talking about it, and I'm tired of this.
I totally agree. And
tired of
belated Mother's Day, by the way.
Happy belated Mother's Day. Yeah, and I was gonna say, actually, we dropped the ball on that. We should have definitely said something about it on Friday, but
Yeah, well, it is what it is. And that's the other thing. I learned that other countries are celebrating on different days. So it just so happened that Mexican Mother's Day and American Mother's Day landed on the same day. So that was cool.
Is that right?
I mean, we spent a lot of time with mom and grandma on Sunday. A lot of time.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody else here in San Diego felt it, but while we were on the Zoom call, we felt a little earthquake.
Yeah,
a little shake in the
fun
boots.
one. Yeah, that was a little fun one, right?
It was.
One of our cousins is over here talking about, oh, I feel an earthquake. Oh, I think that's an earthquake. Yeah, and then a couple seconds later, oh shoot.
Yeah. Oh man, it's moving a little bit. You're on the fourth floor. You probably felt it a little more than I did.
Maybe, I don't know. I definitely felt it though. Definitely felt it.
It's kind of cool to get a little shaken.
I feel like I've felt more of the earthquakes lately than ever since there was one pretty significant one. Where was it? I don't even remember where it was. But it was less than 6 months ago. But yeah, no, I know
Jeff. He's letting
I
us know.
know there's a FaceTime, and I called my mom, but you know what? You can't hug a phone.
You can. It just doesn't feel the same, right? It doesn't feel the same. Well, there you go. Aw, I love my iPhone. You Apple people.
Whatever, dude. You got me the fallet for it, so it's great.
Yeah, I did the fallet for it. That's funny. Yeah. That's what it is, right?
It's a fallet. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a phone case wallet. That's what it is. No. So speaking of being able to go and hug people, that's kind of a new normal thing.
That's what I was getting at. Yep.
I know.
Or the new mind. Like not normal thing. And I was like,
you grew up for, I don't know, our whole lives being able to shake hands and hug. Oh, check this out, dude. I've been thinking about this, but I haven't been in your presence to do it. Check it out. Give me a high five. about it. For those of you who are old enough to remember Sylvester Stallone's movie
Demolition Man.
right? And
So
so Demolition Man, in the future, they outlawed physical contact, right? They took it out. There's no more physical contact because it spreads diseases. You can't have sex anymore. All that has been digitized. You put on like a little helmet and you have, electrodes into your brain and
God, it was
stimulate you,
terrible.
whatever. But that was one of the things, right? The only thing missing from Demolition Man today would be the 3 seashells. And I don't know how you use 3 seashells, but apparently you use the 3 seashells.
Well, there was enough people hoarding TP for a while, maybe.
Right? And that's again some of these new normal things. And if you look at some of these sci-fi things, they do kind of push you in a direction. Like, think about it. He walks up to that little sensor machine and starts cussing at it to get the tickets to come out, right? Because you get fined for every curse word you say. And it's kind of like, internet censorship today. We're heading a direction where, if you don't agree with one side or the other, whoever's in power is going to just kind of, not give you the access to the freedom of expansion type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely possible.
I don't know if it's like a thing.
I mean, it's kind of already there with the algorithm, right? If you don't like a certain thing and you don't interact with a certain thing, then you don't see much of that. Certain people show up earlier in your Instagram story feed.
But here's what I agree with and disagree with. So I agree with that in the sense that we're using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all these different things. Those are free platforms for us, right? Mm-hmm. So for the user, it's a free platform. So from a capitalistic point of view, for you to pay for distribution makes sense.
Sure.
Right? It just logically, you're getting this free thing. You do get some exposure, and if your content is good enough in that exposure, it'll get shared and it'll go, it has the opportunity to go out and be free, right? Be free. It has that opportunity. However, if you have an opinion and it gets shut down or pulled because it's a disagreeing opinion, that's where I have an issue, right? And again, I only have an issue in the sense that if there was no other way to do it, to talk about it, that's a bad thing. But again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're private companies.
Disagreeing. Okay, so disagreeing, yes, but there's definitely a line between having differing opinions, and that needs to be able to continue, right?
Yes.
Versus,
absolutely.
Like, I can see why they had to find ways to cut down on the fake news, right? Wherever it's coming from, they had to find a way to make sure that people weren't just sharing propaganda. Propaganda comes from all sides, right? But they wanted to make sure that people aren't sharing baseless information, right? False information. So that's one thing. The other thing is hate speech, right? I don't care if there's a difference between what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and even the Constitution doesn't protect against offensive speech, and hate speech is included there.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you the well, here's my thing though. At what point is it too far? And at what point can you just say, I'm not going to listen to that and change the channel or continue to scroll? Like, I think that's a personal choice. And my
all right. So is it a personal choice for you to go into a grocery store wearing a mask with a swastika on it, or wearing
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Now, would I do that? No, but it is your personal choice.
Sure.
Now, if people are offended by it, right, they're probably going to say something to you. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. But as long as you're not hurting anyone, physically hurting anyone, or organizing some conspiracy thing to, go out and, do what they would do, then that's a different ballgame. No action, right?
The ideology behind that is action. Like you can't just I'm gonna 100% disagree. What's wrong with propaganda? Everybody propagandizes.
That's a good word,
Propaganda.
propagandizing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Propaganda is just, it is the media. It is the stories. And if you're watching CNN, you're being propagandized from one side of the political spectrum, and if you're watching Fox News, you're being propagandized from the other side of the political spectrum. So it's kind of,
Well, here's the words that
but
I think are going to
false
come out of this.
information is that's a whole
But
different thing.
false information is just information that hasn't yet been verified or unverified. Like, and that's the thing is you can have an opinion, right? People have opinions, and it's up to us as individuals to validate that opinion or a true or false. I just think it gets scary when you start taking them away. Check it out, vocabulary. So when we had the 2001 Twin Towers, right? After that, the most popular word that came out of that session was terrorism. Everything was terrorist. Everything was terrorism. That was the big word that came out.
Okay.
Right. 2008, the big words that came out were too big to fail. Too big to fail was the thing, right? Oh, we can't, we have to fund them. They're too big to fail. We have to support them because they're too big to fail. What's coming out of this one? This one is going to be new normal and misinformation. And it doesn't matter what you brand on whose side and who uses it. It's what you're going to label it. And it's one of those things where, like, you're guilty before you've even been at a trial or jury. It's the court of public opinion. Right when you slap the label of propaganda, conspiracy theory, or right winger or whatever, those are just labels that get slapped on the thing. And I think what we're looking at here, right? What we're looking at here, whether you have a choice to believe it or not, it's completely up to you. But the thing that's going to get branded on it is going to be, that's the new normal. And we're just going to accept it because that's the new normal. Or
there's going to be a lot of that.
We took that off the internet because that's misinformation. Well, who's determining misinformation? Who deems it? And if you put a person in power, whoever has that control, right, to take it off the internet or to take it off of YouTube or to take it off all the platforms, let's hope that person has some positive thing in mind, right? That they're trying to go in the right direction, because that power can be abused in either direction. And that's what's scary about it. But anyways, that was my branding for this pandemic. Those are the two things. It's going to be the new normal and misinformation.
I like it. No, it's definitely, I mean, we're supposed to be talking about the new normal. We got a little off track there.
We did.
Yeah, and who are we to decide? Who are we to decide what's misinformation?
And well, I believe we are the ones to decide that. Everybody else, like that's the whole beauty of what the internet was, right? I mean, now we're talking about censorship on the internet, but the internet was awesome because you could go out and say whatever you wanted, and it didn't matter. You still can to an extent. When they start talking about censorship and misinformation, we got to take that down. That's when it starts getting not
InfoWars. InfoWars is an example. And I don't know about misinformation. Never paid attention to it. Don't know anything about it. But that's something that got taken down. And my understanding of it is that that was propaganda. That was a lot of conspiracy theories and God knows what else. And, I think, when the language, when the message is frankly one of oppression, that's when we got to start, somebody's got to start taking action. And that's what wearing a swastika in public is. And that's what wearing a KKK hood in public is. Those are signs of aggression. Those aren't just simple signs of protest. Those are signs of oppression and aggression, and it's unacceptable.
I don't know, man. I don't think that's an unarrestable, jailable.
Well, nobody got arrested and nobody got put in jail.
Right now.
This
right,
time.
and that's what I'm saying, right? Is when it's a very slippery slope to be
And that's not
going down that road.
that's not a valid argument though. That's a slippery slope fallacy.
Well, I guess that's where we differ a little bit, right?
It's a slippery slope fallacy. Like it's literally like an argument or argumentative fallacy or whatever. I don't know the terms. Your wife knows, my wife knows. But those are things that it doesn't make sense just because you disallow someone from wearing hateful symbols like that it starts to take away the rights of everybody else to wear whatever they want. It's not.
Well,
how
let me
it
ask
works.
you this. Let me
It's not
ask
how
you
any
this.
of this works.
Let me give you an example then. Who's probably the most hardcore alternative band, like satanic alternative band that you know?
Oh God.
Just name one off the top of your head.
I couldn't even. I don't know. Slipknot. I
Okay,
guess.
let's
I
take
don't know.
Slipknot. Let's take Slipknot.
Let's go with
and
that.
You're walking down the street by a church,
Uh-huh.
or you walk into a church wearing that. How would that? How would they address it? Would they
You know
shut
that grandma would not appreciate that, and grandma would be judging like hell.
Does that make the person like unsavable? Does that mean that
is the message of Slipknot to be violent and to literally kill believers in Christian faith or any faith? Is that the message? Is that the message? No. It does not depend on anything.
Yes, it does. Absolutely does. Because if you take it as that person is putting evil thoughts into all these other individuals and they will be damned to hell.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
No, because the message of the KKK is literally to fucking kill black people. That's why. That's why. It's a completely that is not a comparison.
I believe
That
it is.
Not
I
a
believe
comparison. You're fucking crazy.
True.
I swear this is probably the most animated that I've ever been on this show, but
yeah, I know, it's cool.
Like no,
I pushed your buttons.
Yeah, you did. You got me.
Yeah.
Winner of the king.
It's to me.
It's called. It just came out. It's called Plandemic.
Plandemic.
Yeah, just came out.
No, dude, and for me, it is a difference between somebody who I remember drawing swastikas on my freaking notebook in school and got in trouble for it, and I didn't know what it meant. I just thought it was a cool symbol.
At the time, you didn't know what it meant, but if you were to do that now, knowing better,
yeah, I wouldn't do that now, knowing
exactly.
Better. But at the same time, if I saw them wearing that, I would ignore them. I would not want to draw attention to them, give them any attention, because that's what they're looking for. So I don't know, me personally, that's how I see it, right? I'm seeing it as if I make a big scene about this person walking into the store with the KKK thing wearing on his head, right? I take pictures, I post it on the internet. I'm inciting exactly what they want. I'm giving them the attention that they want. I'm inciting my anger, and I'm using my anger to provide them a platform.
The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
I didn't say do nothing.
You literally said do nothing. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to look the other way.
I'm going to leave them alone because I'm not going to give them that power. Whoops, I lost you. Dang, that was a good argument too. He'll be back. I hope you guys are enjoying that. I never get James that heated. It's been a long time since I got James that heated.
Right? I meant to swipe my screen because Macs are cool like that. But also, if it only catches one finger, then it goes back in my browser and kicks me out of this.
Oh, that's so. I was like, damn, he got that mad. He left.
No, No. But no, that's like I can't accept doing nothing.
But again, right? I understand good
That's
men
what makes
doing
me a
nothing.
Gryffindor, though. That's what makes
Right?
me a Gryffindor.
Well,
That's
but
why
I
you're
understand-
Slytherin.
I understand a good person doing nothing. And when I hear that saying, by the way, it's when there's something in action and you do nothing. If you see somebody getting beat up that
is
doesn't deserve
action. No, dude, I'm sorry.
For
That
me,
is
there's a
action. That
difference.
is aggressive, straight up aggressive action.
I don't believe so. I believe that's them just being who they are until they take an action. It's like again, it's small cults who believe in certain things. They can believe in all the crazy crap they want and kill chickens and do little pentagrams and do whatever they want to do until they start to take action on some other group for something. Then they're just a little gang. Even Andres says he agrees with James this time, right? But that's the thing is you're taking the aggressive action first if you do that. They have literally picked on you and drawn you to take action. You didn't have the mental fortitude. You didn't have the mental fortitude.
I'm going to read something to you.
Step back.
I'm going to read something to you. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me.
But those are all actions. Coming for you is an action.
Wearing a
I think-
swastika and wearing a hood is an action.
It's a look that you don't like, but it's not an action. And that's the thing is if you go out and make something happen, you're causing the action. You're causing them to pull in. Think about it. They had peaceably wore their weird stuff, right? And if you let them, if they just come in the store, nobody acknowledges them, they leave the store, then the message they were trying to get out goes nowhere. But the moment you have any aggression, you take out your phone, you show pictures, you start posting, you're giving them all the power. Like there's a time when you do something and there's a time when you don't do something. To me, that's just wasn't one of those times. That's the same reason why when they have a mass shooting, they don't show the guy's face on TV anymore. They don't say his name anymore. Because that's what they wanted. Why would we ever give them what they wanted? That's the same reason why when you have a hostage situation and the guy says, put me on TV, you don't do that.
For sure.
Because the guy wants notoriety. That's what's happening there. I'm not saying what they're doing is right. I'm not saying what they're doing is right.
But you're saying that it gives them notoriety and it gives them exposure and it gathers more people to their cause.
No, if you take action and bring light to it.
And if you don't, if you just stand by, then they feel more and more empowered to continue to grow in numbers. There's your slippery slope, right?
It is a slippery slope.
Your slippery slope. Take it or leave it.
You're assuming that with them with no power, if you give them no power, if you give them no fuel, recruiting people to that cause is easier. That's what you're saying. When I think it's the other way around. If they have clout, if you give them fuel, it gives that group power and more people want to be part of that power.
It's a counterintuitive argument, but it does make sense.
I don't know. It's the same reason why I've never had to get in a fist fight because I know when to avoid it. But I have had to pull people off of a fight because I've had to take action when there's something going on unfair.
I've gotten in plenty of fist fights, and I will be the first to punch a Nazi.
I
Just saying.
So. I don't know, man. It's one thing to say. It's another thing for wearing that, for just simply having it on. Not worth it. Not worth it to me.
That's why I'm a Gryffindor and you're a Slytherin.
That's true. but that's why you will incite war, and we will prevent and we will keep the peace.
I think it goes the other way around.
Mm.
I think it goes
Not
the
from
other
my
way
point of
around.
view. And you just said your way gets you in fights.
No, I've just been in more fights.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm sure because at some point they were wearing something, doing something, saying something you didn't disagree with, and you took action.
Meh.
Exactly my point.
It's because I've always had a temper.
Well, that's the issue, right? Is you see something you don't like and you let your temper and your emotions take over, and so you take action. It's not always the best route, but that's what we do. That's what you're pushing to. Again.
It's so funny because you're the one that always says, take action, take action, take action. Action first, action first, action first. Think about it later. Not a mindset.
Warface is on right now.
Oh man. Makes me
Dude,
think of dang,
Braveheart?
why- No, not stupid Braveheart.
I just saw Warface.
Yeah. The Warface, freaking Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, Joker, show me Warface. Ah!
You call that a Warface? God, such a good movie. Such a good
It
movie.
is, dude. But
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
Yeah, I'm always a take action type of person, but a take action to something that's going to help you, not something that's going to hurt you. Right. And you're right, though. You're right. I mean, I wouldn't give that attention. I would personally look, be like, what the hell? But I'm not taking a picture. I'm not posting that. I'm not sharing that. Because I'm doing them a favor.
You're
definitely not drawing them attention.
Doing them a favor by giving them attention.
You're
Putting more-
helping the cause. You might
Yeah.
as well put the patch on yourself.
That counterintuitive argument, but it makes sense. That's why I'm not a lawyer.
That's why you're not a lawyer. Dude, this was a good ass show, dude. I had fun on this one.
This is a fun one. Yeah.
We should
like you
disagree
said.
more often.
Well, we do. We do. We do enough. But yeah, man, it was funny. Like I caught myself like, no, what's wrong with you?
I would punch you if you were right here, right now.
Nah, you're not a Nazi. I won't punch you. But
Wow.
I'll go Indiana Jones on some other mofos.
Right? Which one?
Full
The Indiana
Indiana
Jones where he,
Jones.
like not the Nazi, but the guy who's like doing the
No,
knife.
no. The Nazi, the Indiana Jones, where he's fighting the guy, basically at the airport, and he's like way bigger than him, and he's going to town and trying to fight him anyway, and then next thing you know, he just pushes him into a plane prop.
Oh yes, I remember that. I do remember that.
Yep.
you got a permanent haircut.
Permanent haircut.
Oh, dude, I'm
Oh,
telling
man.
you. Next step. What did Andres say? What about just talking shit without any social media? Well, again, it's completely up to you, right? If there were no cameras around, if there was no way this was getting out, I guess that's between you and your own mind, right? You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But to me, that's no different than gang violence. Just because you don't claim the same set, because you don't know where they're from, it's okay to pull out a gun, pull out a knife, pull out your fist, whatever it's gonna be. Like, I just don't believe that's the right thing to do. People are people. They're gonna differ. They're gonna grow up in different places, think different things. It's just not my prerogative to do that. I just would rather not have to deal with. I try to deal in positives as much as I possibly can. That's my own personal thing. That's how I roll. Put a smile on your face.
Like, I try to think that I'm pretty positive, like most of the time. I've been accused of being the happiest person that somebody's ever met on more than one occasion.
Except
but
for
yeah,
when a
there's-
guy wears a Nazi swastika.
Oh
on
yeah,
his face.
there's definitely some things that'll rile me up, and yeah, if you're a Nazi, I will punch you in the face. So FYI,
So don't tell me that.
yeah, don't tell me, and don't wear your swastika in public, and we'll be fine.
And we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. But
Other
if
than
you
that,
wear
you're
a swastika or KKK hood in public, we're gonna have problems.
Yeah, so watch out, flat earth.
Yeah, that's right. Flat earther. No, if you're a flat earther, you're good. You're good. I got no problem with you. You're an idiot, but
Dude, again, that's what I felt like. Like, look, we're good people. We're great. We get along awesome. But the moment I realize that you believe in something that I don't believe in, you're hittable.
I mean, only if it is if what you believe is that literally certain groups of people should die just because of the color of their skin or whatever.
So let's imagine that your best bud, Adam, you went to the Navy, all that stuff, and then this year he drops, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you.
Adam has definitely told me the old joke about, how he lost his grandfather in World War II, and it, was sad when he fell off of the guard tower. Like, and I laughed. I was, it's funny, and he's actually German, so
I'm just saying, I know Adam's not, it doesn't believe those things, but if you had built a great relationship with somebody and then you found out later,
and he suddenly turned around and told me that he's a Nazi, that's the end of the friendship, dude.
I get it.
I'm sorry. Like, I will not be friends with a Nazi.
I get it. All I'm saying is you could meet people who are good people. And the moment you don't believe what they believe, doesn't mean you kill them.
It's not. It's not about believing what you don't believe. It's literally about believing that certain people don't deserve to exist.
Yeah, I totally.
I'm one of those people. You are one of those people.
I am totally with you.
Like, how could I be friends with someone who thinks that I don't deserve to live?
I totally agree with you on that.
Again, by the way, I this is my Wolverine patch right here. I'm definitely like superheroing it out today.
Nerding it out.
Yeah.
All the positive energy flowing out of you. Yesterday I was wearing Captain America, so there was no way I could have talked about this wearing a Captain America shirt.
Oh my god. What I'm saying, man.
Look, all I'm saying is people are different people, and there's sometimes, for whatever reason they believe whatever they're going to believe. Not everybody takes action on their beliefs. Not everybody has the belief of something to the extent where they're going to become
enough of a historical.
I agree with you.
Historical evidence that kind of stuff just it shouldn't exist. That kind of iconography is illegal in Germany.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying there's more to people than one simple ideology.
Agreed. But if they choose to present that one, they get what they deserve.
Well, how about this? What if they're a 7-year-old kid who has known nothing but?
So the 7-year-old kid runs around with a swastika?
Why not?
He smack him in the back of the head.
Yeah, you
not really. No, I wouldn't. Honestly, it's a
that
7-year-old kid, just like you.
That kid turns 18. That kid turns 20. That's all he's ever known.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go and take action on these things. He just knows that's all he's ever known. I'm just saying, dude, there's more to people. I just believe there's more to people, and there's some people who could, I don't know, for another way of saying it, there are people who could be saved.
Institutional and generational racism is rampant in our country. Yes, it happens all the time. It is what it is, and that's exactly what that's something that needs to change, and it is changing. It is changing.
But by your logic,
people who take what's that?
By your logic, we cast them out.
Yes, because they need to know that that's unacceptable.
But by my logic, by my thinking, is those people can be saved. Like, dude,
I'm not saying that they can't be saved,
dude. Darth Vader had some good in him.
Yes, he did.
You can see the light. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
There's nothing. Look, I'm not saying that those people can't be saved, and that they can't change their minds. All
Ben
I'm saying
Kenobi.
is that as long as they believe what they believe,
Or sorry, Ben Solo.
what's that? Ben Solo. If that's what they believe, like, it needs to change. It
I
has
agree.
to change.
But it can't change if the other side is pushing nothing but violence on them. Somebody's got to be the
That
bigger
whole, I agree, but that symbol is a sign of aggression. It frankly is. If you can't see that, then
No. I don't disagree that it's a sign of aggression. It's their sign of aggression. It doesn't mean it has to be yours. There's the difference, right? You can't fix the problem with people like that if you become the problem. If you are inciting the issue.
gives more fuel to their cause. I get it,
point.
but it's still not acceptable. Don't care who you are, don't care where you are, nothing.
I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's acceptable. I just think plan of action choice is different. Damn, this is a good show. All right, dude. Ladies and gents,
Enjoy the pool.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Make sure you guys join our Facebook group. We're going to teach you how to podcast like a pro, maybe give you some hot topics that you can talk about if you're gutsy enough to talk about them. So Facebook group is Podcast Like a Pro. If you guys want to know how to do a little bit of podcasting stuff, everything from getting your show launched all the way through monetizing your podcast, check out our ebook. It's only $7. businessbros.biz/ebook7. We're going to be launching a new program probably by next week. So if you want to start your own podcast and you're looking for some cool stuff like our intros, like our outros, like the background, like the banners, all that stuff, and you need help getting them done, we're going to be able to help you out. Make sure you guys join our Facebook group, Podcast Like a Pro, so that you get all the heads up on that stuff as soon as possible. And as always, that's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you interested in being on the show? Are you looking to sell your home or have a business that needs insurance? Reach out to the Business Bros via email, businessbros@seeusfirst.com right now, or click on the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening. And remember to subscribe and share the podcast with the business professionals who you think would benefit from the show.